Yeah.
Well, well,
It-
apparently your quest for speed while you're working at the gas station worked out because it seems to me a top cruise speed on an F-100 is about 800 knots. Is that, is that fair?
yes, close to that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll climb at 22,000 feet per minute, which for people out there, that's like one football field per second going up. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. And they called it the Hun, right?
That's right.
Yep. And now it's gone through several iterations. I mean, the short tail was crashing all the time, right? And
Yeah. They called it the Lieutenant Killer.
the and so what version did you fly?
I flew the C and the D,
Hmm.
and there wasn't really much difference except I don't the C didn't really have flaps on it. This thing would come down final approach at 175
Oh no,
knots.
for those of you out there, that's like screaming fast for a landing.
That's 200. It's about
Yeah,
200 miles an
yeah.
hour. Yeah,
That's why
and
you
you
needed
could.
such long runways, right?
Yeah, we usually had over 10,000 feet,
Hmm.
and but you get used to it. You just it's just like anything else.
Hmm.
Once you develop the habit, and that's like race car drivers. They say, "How can you drive so close to somebody at 200 miles an hour?" I said, "Everybody's doing it."
Yeah, yeah. And well,
you
so,
know, if, if you
so
don't do that, you're out of the race. You
and
know.
some of them didn't because there was some pretty bad crashes with that thing on landings. But now, did
Yeah,
you
there
have the
was.
cannons or the machine gun or what?
Yeah, we had four
20
20
millimeter.
millimeter,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
cannons, and that would come out at around 6,000 rounds a second. So,
Oh my God.
not a second, a
A
minute, I guess.
minute. Yeah,
And
yeah.
we shot the cannon, it sounded like "burp."
Yeah, exactly right. But boy, I
Yeah.
could just can imagine. I was telling you before we started about how when I moved here to Norfolk, Oceana Naval Station, and I just about freaked out because it'll just shake your brains out when those jets take off and stuff. And I didn't
Oh,
know
yeah.
about it. I was like, "What? We're getting attacked." So imagine what the peasants in Vietnam thought when they saw you coming at them.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so,
Yeah.
so so you got that on your wing, but you had a lot of no. We get a little throw up in our mouth sometimes when we mention this term on this podcast. The term job. You had
Yes.
jobs because
I
this
I
is
just I just say JOB.
yeah, okay, all right, that's better. So you were like in engineering and stuff for a long time, right?
Well, yeah, I got the degree
Mm-hmm.
in aeronautical engineering, and when I came back, I was an instructor pilot, but I was also, because I had the engineering degree, they made me a test pilot.
Mm-hmm.
I would be not a research test pilot, but a production test pilot. So whenever they worked on the airplane, I would then take it up and test it out to make sure that they fixed it right. And also,
Did you
they
ever
made
have
me.
to bail?
Hmm,
Did you ever have to bail out?
no, sir,
Oh,
never did.
good, good.
Came close numerous
Yeah.
times, but no, I never did. And but they also made me an air crash investigator because I had the engineering
Hmm.
background, and I investigated 13 major crashes for the Air Force. And then when I got out, I went to work for Douglas, which was then McDonnell Douglas,
Hmm.
which later got absorbed by Boeing. But and I investigated a couple crashes for them as well. So it just a lot of stuff like that.
Well, when did Top Gun Love come around, and
Well,
did you save up money to start a business, or was it part time to start? How did you transition from the working
well,
world to the
that's a really good
hmm
question. So when I came back from Vietnam, it was in the late '60s, and I went to I was worked as an instructor pilot, and then because of my engineering ability, they made me also a flight safety officer.
hmm
So there was an opportunity to go do some post grad work at USC in a flight safety course. And while I was there, I was staying with a brother of one of my old friends from the Air Force, and he introduced me to marijuana. And I went, "Wow, this stuff is kind of fun." I fighter pilots drink a lot.
Yeah.
For the most part. It's part of the hell raising, carefree. I don't give a shit about anything attitude. And so I just added a little bit of marijuana to my after hours recreation. And as that went on, I somehow or another got caught, and